Everybody, it's Jace with Marshall Made Collectibles, and today we are doing another one of my retro reviews. Not too long ago, I went ahead and did a review on Sideshow's premium format figure that they did of Hellboy, which was one of the very first premium format figures that they did. Today, what we have is kind of what made Sideshow famous back in the day. Is they got a lot of different licensing and for different things, and made a whole bunch of 1/6 or 12-inch figures. But one of the biggest licensing things that they ever had was the Universal Monsters, and they put out like action figures, these little big head things. They put out a whole host of 12-inch figures based on a whole plethora of figures, characters from the Universal Monster universe. And then when they did their premium format figures, they did a whole bunch of the Universal Monsters, and they did colored versions, and then they did the black and white or silver screen edition is what they called them. What we have in front of us is from 2004, and it was one of the very first forays that they took into the premium format for the Universal Monsters, and it is of Frankenstein's monster, or the monster. Of course, it says Frankenstein. The way they did the packaging was a little different back then. It was just like a plain black box, but then on the outside they would put like these really nice slip covers. And this guy, you can find him on eBay going from anything from like $500 to $800. The thing is, we were able to get him here for under $200. Well, with my eBay bucks, he was like $229. So that just shows you can still find good deals on eBay, because this costs less than most 1/6 scale figures that are out today. With my eBay bucks, I ended up out of pocket was like $70 something with shipping, which is ridiculously low. So you can still find good deals out there on eBay if you know where to shop and how to shop. So let's just go over the packaging real quick. Like I said, it's just a slip cover that's over this. It's kind of wanting to fall down because I have it on a Lazy Susan. But on the front, you got a nice picture of the actual statue or premium format figure. It's not really a statue because I remember this piece. The arms have like a ragdoll feel to them. They're like filled, but they have a wire in them that would allow posing. So you have to be careful. I wouldn't suggest posing this a lot because you wouldn't want to snap those wires, although I'm sure they didn't make them brittle. On the front, everything is really nice and matte, which is funny that there's two areas that are glossed on this, and you really might not be able to tell from the video, but the bolts on his neck, and then the one little area that clip is on his head right there, or the staple or whatever that holds his dome together, these are gloss. So everything is a matte, real nice matte finish, and then you get to these bolts and that staple on his forehead, and it's done in gloss. Again, you have a limited edition 1/4 scale collectible figure, Sideshow Collectibles, Universal Studios, Universal Monsters logo up there. You have the windmill, of course, from the very end of Frankenstein. You have the Frankenstein name. You turn it to the side. You have another picture of the statue again. And then this time on the top, it does say Boris Karloff. On the back, you have a readout. A brief synopsis and history of Frankenstein. It tells you your edition number. They only made 1,100 of these. This is number 503. You'll notice now, like when they do statues, most of their editions are anywhere from like 2,500 up. But back in the day, they didn't really put out a lot of product. I think Sideshow was still a fledgling company at this time, even though they did have a huge license with Universal Monsters. On the opposite side, it's the same picture that you had before on the other side. And again, the little bolts on his neck and that staple area is in gloss. Let's go ahead and measure the box. The box is about 27 inches tall. It is about 11 inches wide and roughly 10.5 inches deep. So it is a rather big box. What was nice on this piece, like I said, it's just a slip cover and then a plain black box. But when we got this or picked this up off of Evil Bay, it still came in the original brown shipping box. Okay, so what I'm going to do, instead of you guys having to sit through and listen to a bunch of styrofoam and creaking and crap like that, I'm just going to go ahead and open up the monster and get him out of the packaging. Notice I didn't say Frankenstein, so you don't have to put that in the comments. So let's go ahead and get him open and displayed, and I'll be right back with the monster displayed. I know this piece is like 15 years old, and I know they've come a long way with how they make premium format statues now, but I gotta say, this piece really still holds up. Like I said, the body is almost like a soft, like almost like a ragdoll armature that has like this wet metal kind of wire that's thickly running through the whole thing, and then it's padded, and then you have these parts that almost remind you of how like antique dolls are, where the hands are porcelain and the head's porcelain but the body's soft. It's kind of like that, but it's done in such a good way you really don't know. Like the body's, I don't know if you can see that, is mushy, which, you know, I don't know how that will be for durability, but I think if this fell, your arms would be more likely to mush in or anything like that before something would snap. Unless you hit like directly on the hands or the head or the feet, I don't see this being a extremely breakable product, I guess is what I'm trying to say, or fragile product. And with that, I think that is pretty astounding for something that looks like this. Now, he is quarter scale. I know we did the box size, but let's see what Frank actually is. Frank stands right about 22 inches tall, and he's gorgeous. Now, Sideshow, back in the day, they didn't do like these huge display bases. This is just a wooden floor, and I'll have some HD photos here at the end. But it's done really well. It looks like plank wood. If you weren't mistaken, you would think like they cut pieces off of a pallet and sculpted or put it together to make the mold. He goes on with like 2 pegs in one foot, 1 peg in the other, and the pegs are long. He is not going to topple over. It does have the edition size on the bottom. This figure came from the original owner, and the original owner never even removed the travel stitches that they had to bunch up these sleeves. So I just popped those off myself for the first time, which makes the coat drape more natural instead of being bunched up and looking like it's stitched up. I went ahead and posed the arms like I wanted to. They do turn. The face sculpt is gorgeous. The paint is gorgeous. What was surprising, and I forgot, when I got this from the seller on eBay, he actually even included the little bust of Frankenstein, which was included in the DVD Legacy Collection set. You would get a Frankenstein, a Wolfman, or, well, Frankenstein's monster, a Wolfman, and Dracula, along with the 3 DVDs. And I've seen like the sets of these going for like 40, 50 bucks, an individual selling for 20, but he had that in there with this, so that was like a little extra bonus, which is nice. But this is a gorgeous premium format figure, and we'll give him a turn. I'm sorry for my lazy Susan being all like not smooth, but he has that hunched over posture. It looks really good, and we will go ahead and do some close-up pictures of his face. My only criticism, I think, of the whole piece is that the hands are done in a really nice matte, but there's almost like a semi-gloss clear spray overspray on the head. That might be taken down with like some Tester's dull coat. Hit that and then re-gloss the eyes. That would take away that sheen and give it more of a natural look, and I think I might do that since this is going to be in my personal collection. But other than that, I love the piece. I think it's gorgeous. But it's definitely something that if you look for it, or if you start searching on eBay, you can find good deals. This just proves it. For the price of like a 1/6 scale figure, I was happy to add this. And of course, with my eBay bucks that I have saved up, it was less than like a Play Arts Kai figure. So that's insane for something of this quality. And not only that, it's a piece of collectible memorabilia, considering this is really like the start of a company that is still with us today, that's still pumping out some really amazing collectibles. Um, Anyway, I just thought I'd share this with you. I love doing these retro pieces because I know as we all get excited about new things coming out, sometimes some of the best stuff that we've ever had for collectibles is in the rearview mirror, and they shouldn't be forgotten. And I know there's not a lot of reviews on these older pieces, and they should be saved for prosperity, because even like if you go to the Sideshow website, a lot of their archive products have been removed, which is sad, because they had some beautiful photography and it would be nice if they were still up there. And if you hang back, we'll have some HD photos of this guy. And real quick, before I end this, I want to thank all our new subscribers. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. It means the world to us, and it really helps our young channel out. And we are trying to grow. And we're going to have new reviews, or try to have new reviews every month, if not a couple times a month. And I will be reviewing that new Pennywise from ACME Acme Toys. And we should have that in hand hopefully within the next week here. So look forward to that for all my horror fans and collector buffs out there. Anyway, again, this is Jace for Marshall Made Collectibles. I thank you for watching, and take care.